What is good, my friends, my brothers, my sisters? Welcome to my channel called Dissolving the Illusion. My name is Gavin Weber, and in today's video, we're going to tackle the concept of the coronavirus, how to deal with it, or any illness from that matter, from the perspective of A Course in Miracles. So looking forward to showing you 4 different ways, 4 steps that you can use to feel a lot better about the coronavirus or any illness. Let's begin. So the coronavirus, okay, just the name of it, it's like named after a beer. I mean, if that's not like describing the illusion, I don't know what is. Yet, every year, there seems to be some kind of major health scare throughout the world. There's the Zika virus, there's Ebola, there's always the flu, there's always something, right? There's always something to bring our attention to be concerned about, and really the bottom line, fear, right? Fear is everywhere right now in the world. The stock markets are I wouldn't say collapsing, but they've taken a huge hit. Like China, like business, the whole world does business with China. And right now it's March 2nd. So I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, but we don't know how big the coronavirus is going to get. There have been multiple deaths in the United States, and it's now bigger outside of China than inside China, right? So it has spread. And that's what fear does, right? Fear just, spreads everywhere, and it's very fast. And so I wanted to create this video that you can apply, even if the coronavirus you're watching this years later is like, it's nothing now. You can apply this to any illness. But really, we all face sickness and not being healthy, not thinking that we're healthy all the time, right? I just had a cold the other day and was able to get through it without, anything real big. Not fun when the coronavirus is going around, right? And that's the whole thing. The whole process isn't fun. And from the perspective of A Course in Miracles, if you're new to the course or if you've been a student for a long time, the course, and I know this is, I'm going to jump right into it, is out there, but it says that everything's an illusion, right? And that no matter what we think and believe is happening from what we see with our eyes, that right now we are one with God, that who we really are is love, and that all is well, all right? And so the first thing that I want to go through with you about how to deal with the coronavirus is a concept that the course really centers around. So let's begin. So A Course in Miracles always states that only love is real and that fear of any kind is an illusion that we have made up. And I'm not going to go into a long explanation of why, like our separation with God and the guilt that comes with that, and then we perceive that in our world because of that separation and that lack and that fear, right, that we project into the world. So all the time things manifest like the coronavirus, and if you get caught up in the media and everywhere everybody's talking about like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen, and like people, you get worried about like financially what's going to happen to the world, you get concerned about like, oh my gosh, who's going to be affected, who might die, and your mind can really run away from it. So in step number 1 with A Course in Miracles is to remember that we are not bodies. And I know everything tells us that we are. I mean, we look at ourselves and it's like, gosh, something happens in my body. I feel the pain, I get sick, things happen that I feel. And so we buy hook, line, and sinker. But you've got to remember that we are not bodies, we are minds. And I'm going to read you a quick quote on that right now. It's more like a paragraph, but this is in chapter 18 under Beyond the Body. There is nothing outside you. That is what you must ultimately learn, for it is the realization that the kingdom of heaven is restored to you. For God created only this, and he did not depart from it, nor leave it separate from himself. The kingdom of heaven is the dwelling place of the Son of God, who left not his Father and dwelled not apart from him. Heaven is not a place nor a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness and the knowledge that there is nothing else, nothing outside this oneness, and nothing else within. Powerful stuff right there. That, we all like to identify with the body and feel like we're separated from God and from love. And what manifests then are these negative, fearful things like the coronavirus. So as often as you can, when you read an article or when somebody talks about it, just remember, I'm connected with God. I am one. Okay? Step number 2, coming up. All right, step number 2 is to remember as often as you can, especially when any illness seems imminent or that you're experiencing or that you see it out in the world, that you're perceiving that, is that fear is an illusion. I just already stated that. Another quote from the course, under the section Healing as Release from Fear. All healing is essentially the release from fear. To undertake this, you cannot be fearful yourself. You do not understand healing because of your own fear, right? And again, as often as we can, we need to remember that we're connected with God, that we were never separated from God, that what is real in this moment, regardless of what's appearing out there, is that we are love and that we are already healed. We were never sick, and that nothing that appears out there can actually hurt us, regardless of how much we've bought into that story up until now. All right? And that when you remember that fear is an illusion, then you can, in that moment, choose love, choose health, choose that all is well, and remove yourself from the illusion of fear. All right? So step number 3. All right, chapter 27, section The Healing Example. And I'm going to read this again. Health is the witness unto health. As long as it is unattested, it remains without conviction. Only when it has been demonstrated is it proved, and must provide a witness that compels belief. No one is healed through double messages. If you wish only to be healed, you heal. Your single purpose makes this possible. But if you are afraid of healing, then it cannot come through you. The only thing that is required for a healing is a lack of fear. The fearful are not healed and cannot heal. This does not mean the conflict must be gone forever from your mind to heal. For if it were, there were no need for healing then. But it does mean, if only for an instant, you love without attack. An instant is sufficient. Miracles wait not on time. So again, that talks about, health and fear. And really, when we remember that we're not bodies, expanding on the first step, and then that fear is an illusion, and the second step, and this third step, that we always have a choice to remember that we are minds, that we are allowing to have happen, and control our perceptions. And when we choose to remember that we're connected to God, we understand in that moment that we can't be sick, that the coronavirus can't hurt us, that no matter what is happening throughout the world, we are always perfect in this moment. We are love, and no sickness will ever harm us. And again, this is on a mind level. This is not like the fear-based physical body level. Yet when you can come from that knowing, from that feeling, and that you're choosing to be healthy and choosing to heal, then you are in control, and nothing that appears to be happening out there with any kind of illness can have any ultimate effect on you. All right? Step number 4. All right, so in conclusion, I'm going to tie all these first 3 steps together. And in this 4th step, I would say my advice, living the course, having to do with any illness, would be to stop buying into what you're seeing and not to believe the illusion. And I'm going to give you an analogy with this. I assume most people who are watching this video are older and have probably had kids or been around kids, right? And if you've ever played with little kids, I'd say anywhere from the ages of like 1 to 10, okay? They love to pretend, playing tea parties, playing trucks, playing army men, playing dolls, right? And if you watch them, or even if you participate with them, those little kids absolutely are in the moment, and their pretending is real to them. And as the observer, we're observing them, we're like, oh my gosh, how cute are they, right? They actually think they're having a tea party. They think these dolls are real and that they're their parents. We see the innocence. We understand that none of those things are real. And if you can make the jump, I know God's not a person, but it's how I imagine God, the energy, the universe, the spirit views us as like, oh my gosh, look at all these people. They think the coronavirus is real. They think that they can die. They think that they're a body. They think that this fear of what happens in this world that they believe is happening can happen to them, and that they're not going to be okay, and that they're not okay in this moment. And what ends up happening as you can come from love, remember that fear is not real, and basically remind yourself that this is all pretend, that we're creating this dream, just like little kids do, that you can participate in this world from a completely new standpoint that doesn't have to participate in the worry of like the coronavirus or any illness, and that you can remember that right now all is well, and go through this life that you think you're seeing, but you know it's still an illusion and pretending, with peace, with harmony, with abundance, with health. And you can avoid the sickness, the worry, the stress, the fear, because you're choosing not to buy into it. And I know people are going to watch this and go, Gavin, but I'm sick. But Gavin, this has cost me a ton of money. But Gavin, like it feels so real. And I understand, and I would say stay the course. It's something that I've had to learn, that I can remember sometimes, and then I'll go months or days or years sometimes with like completely buying into illusion again and suffering because of it. But we are those little kids pretending. And those little kids, they're in the moment. They're innocent, just like us. They haven't done anything wrong, either have we. But we as adults, and we thinking we know better, that we've bought into the story, forgotten who we are, and that's what's happening throughout the world. And fear just spreads. the forgetfulness, the guilt, the separation. It's all what's really happening as far as what we think we're experiencing. But I'm here to tell you, you're home with God right now. The coronavirus will never hurt you. No illness can ever hurt you. And that you can choose to be healed right now and come from a place of health. And if you don't believe that right now, I honor that. Read A Course in Miracles, do the workbook, and start to experience and remember who you really are. And I promise that your world, that even in this physical world we think we see, miracles will happen. And all will be well, and you'll remember. So, I'll talk to you soon, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Much love. Bye-bye.